I had so much pain in my knee that I couldn't walk my dog around the block or go to the grocery store without excruciating pain with every step. I was genuinely really scared, and the doctor who gave me my last knee surgery was telling me that I may never walk or run or jump or be athletic ever again without some pain. When I left his office on the drive home, that's when I knew that I was going to devote all of my time and energy and make it #1 priority in proving him wrong. I set a goal that I was going to be climbing mountains into my 50s, and I was going to be back racing as competitive as I ever was, if not much better. It's been about a year, which was last summer when I first began stem cell therapy. I just turned 26 years old, and I was 10 years out of actually 2 complete knee reconstructions with my ACL, PCL, MCL, and both my meniscuses torn, and my knee and really my whole body was just beginning to fall apart. I just literally exploded my knee, which cracked my femur up, and then at my last surgery, the doctor really just drilled the rest of the knee open so it would further break in hopes that my knee would just grow back properly. And after about 9 months after that surgery of letting my body heal, and I still couldn't really walk around the block or even walk through an airport without excruciating pain. And that's when I ran into Dr. Locks, who is supposed to be a complete badass with stem cell therapy in this area and actually does a lot of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's when I committed to going in with the stem cell therapy, and he said I was gonna have to spend the next 7 to 9 months just completely letting back, stand under 4,000 steps, and just letting my body and those stem cells heal. The 4,000 steps felt like a prison sentence, but I think it was the absolute best thing that could have happened to me. I learned so much during this time. I may have learned more during this time than I ever have in my whole life. One thing that I understood was pain was meant to be learnt from. If my body was trying to signal my brain some sort of pain, it was trying to communicate that something needs to change or something is out of balance. All pains in our body will stem from some sort of out of alignment or out of balance that we need to learn to fix and correct. I knew that if I just took the stem cells and didn't change anything about my life, I was going to end up in the same situation that brought me to stem cells to begin with in just a matter of time. Because if I don't fix the problem that that pain is causing, I can take any pill or any surgery, but that pain will just continue to come back in some way or another. If I were to take those stem cells and say I did heal 100%, if I didn't change the way that I was moving, change the way that I was using my body, in just a matter of time, I would end up in the exact same place that got me there. And from my ACL surgeries 10 years prior, I had a lot of muscles in my hips and my leg that just weren't activating and weren't strong enough, that were getting pulled on muscles that were overactivating and that were too tight. One of the most important things I did for my recovery was I learned about a program called Move You on MoveU.com. I am in no way affiliated with them or getting paid or anything on them. I genuinely bought that program, and I strongly believe that that was the best thing that I did for myself, because I learned how to correctly move and use my body. I learned exactly where the pain was coming from in my body, how to listen to my body, and how to use it properly so the pain not only heals and regenerates itself, but it doesn't come back. It put me in control of my own pain, which was one of the best feelings ever. On top of the Move You program, I was also seeing a really good physical therapist that was recommended from Dr. Locks. He did a lot of tests on my body to find the muscles that were too weak and that weren't activating, and he did a really good job at giving me these exercises to strengthen those specific muscles, which ended up being so much in my hips and a lot in my glutes. I was learning that my glutes weren't activating and turning on, which was causing so much pressure to just really stomp down into my knee. And the more I strengthened my glutes, the less pressure was put on my knee, and the better my whole chain of my whole body worked. So I'm now 1 year out of stem cell therapy, and I've honestly accomplished some huge milestones in my life. I've been training and competing really at full force, and I honestly feel better than I ever have in my life. I feel more aligned, I feel more balanced, and I've just learned so much through this experience of how to use and fix my body. One of my goals, I knew that I was going to be climbing mountains as I got older, and I was going to devote everything it took. I didn't care if it took until I was 50. I was going to heal my body. And I actually did one of the biggest hikes that I've ever done in my whole entire life 2 weeks ago in France. That was literally just up and down this mountain that brought you to this awesome cliff and this inlet. And it was just an amazing experience. I didn't even know I was capable of doing. I kind of just got dropped into it by just certain circumstances, and it was like a 2-hour hike there, and then we spent an hour there just admiring the views, and a 2-hour hike back. And honestly, my knee felt great. And that is something that the doctor said was not going to be possible, and I was genuinely afraid if I was ever going to be able to do again. And by the end of the walk, my knee actually felt better. My body was sore, my body was tired like it should be, but my knee felt good. And on top of that, I've been training full-time for a professional athlete, which is so much plyometrics, so many squats, and so many sprints, and I feel good, if not better than ever on my bike. So yes, I do believe stem cells was worth it. I do really think that it helped. But the key word is helped. You have to do something else. You have to learn where this pain is coming from, why it's coming up, and to listen and learn from it, and learn how to move and use your body properly. For those of you who don't have money for stem cells, you still can heal. I think it maybe just take a little bit longer. Stem cells kind of reminded me of putting these super construction workers inside our knee or inside our body, wherever you put it, that are just gonna work overtime and to really help your body heal faster. But our bodies are always and constantly 24/7 working on healing themselves. So if we are able to realign and rebalance our body and the way we use our body, then we put our construction workers in a great position to just do all this great productive healing while we're sleeping and while we're resting. I wanted to give those stem cells every single chance they could to succeed. I also did quite a bit of experimentation with fasting and intermittent fasting. It's truly amazing what our body or little construction workers can accomplish when they're not working on digesting food. They can really just work full time on regenerating and healing our body. This doesn't mean that you have to do some crazy 30-day long or 10-day long fast. Just an intermittent fasting can help. I did intermittent fasting, I did 1 days, and I even did up to an 8-day fast. And a few other things that I did that I feel like really helped. I did a lot of oxygenation therapy or oxygen breathing and cold therapy, really the Wim Hof method, where I'm just over oxygenating my whole entire body, and it's really a form of meditation. I was also listening to a lot of Joe Dispenza, I think I pronounced his name right, who is just an amazing author and speaker who teaches you how to heal your body as well. I do believe diet plays a huge factor in this, so I was also starting to grow my own food and make these things called super smoothies, where I literally put in as much fruit and vegetables as I can in a blender and blend it up and eat it. And I really genuinely think that helped. I believe the more I was able to nourish my body and just give the fuel for my body and those construction workers, the better they worked and the better my whole body and whole system worked. Alright guys, I really hope this video helped in some way. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about my experience or if I can help in any way, just leave a comment in the comment box below and I'll do my best to answer them. I do want to give a huge big thanks to MyRadar, who is the company who has been supporting me in my BMX career, and it's honestly just an awesome free app that I use every single day. It's a click of away and it just shows you exactly what type of weather's coming in. So if you're like me and likes to play outside, I highly recommend that app. I'll leave that a link in the description below. And of course, if you haven't seen my website lately, check that out at www.thewillgrant.com. Thanks and see you soon.